really, really, realistically speaking, that date is not going to change my mindset.
Right.
And I know this.
Right. But I think it's an opportunity to transition into a friendship.
But I'm horrible at that.
Okay, well,
I'm horrible.
We're going to have to talk about that.
I'm horrible.
Listen, here's what I also want to put on the table. We have a role to play. A woman in a man's life is so important. And the woman that he cares about or is interested in, her opinion, her words have so much power directed towards him. And we, as women, when we talk about setting the standard, but also breathing life into our power, our source of power, but in a way that is affirming and loving and good to the universe. And I know I sound like, nuts and berries right now, but it's true. Like, the way you will treat and manage him in this process is important for the next woman.
But I think it makes sense because there's all this hurt and people are walking around.
And it, and it matters, right? So it's not just about like ghosting him, or it's not just about.
And to be fair, normally I would just ghost.
No.
Or I'm speaking from past experience.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you putting it on the table.
And I know that I don't want to do that going forward.
And let's not. And let's not let anybody do that, because you think about, like, if you have any little insecurity, right? Like, whatever insecurities you have, when someone ghosts you and they just, right? And you get no answer, no closure, no insight, not that you gotta, like, you're not gonna tell him that he was a 7 on, the attraction scale.
No, but I also don't know what to say when I literally would say, like, I think you're great. Like, I like everything that I've gotten to know about you. I think you are amazing, a wonderful person. But how do you tell somebody that you're just not attracted to them? Like, do I want to be friends with him? I think
you could start, but in saying, right, like, let's start with a friendship and see where it goes. Let's start first with a friendship. But
does that work when you literally met all the family and they all talking about, like, the wedding and, like, and, like,
that? Okay, that part aside, I mean, because the reality is, you're gonna see that extended family again unless you chose to be friends and in a friendly situation like that. And I have had, now, your dad always thinks that when a man and a woman are friends, the man is really laying in the cut for his opportunity to be with a woman.
I told that to my college friends, and they've lost it. They lose it every single time, and they're always like, "That's not true." And then something happened.
There's usually a moment.
Something happened, and they were like, "Oh!" And I was like, "I told you. Well, my dad told you, but I told you."
Yeah. No, I think there's always. Listen, men don't waste their time, right? Like, they really don't.
And he's ready.
Yeah. But my point is the fact that he's ready. We have, it's important that you take care of his heart and the fact that he's vulnerable enough to, right.
And he's a good guy.
Exactly.
I don't want to do that to.
No.
When I did that to one, okay. Remember South guy?
Yeah.
That, I was like, you are getting on my last freaking nerves. I have nothing. There's no nice way to say this.
Right.
You don't get the hint enough.
Right.
So then I just went ghost. That's, like, fair.
But did you have that conversation? You don't get the hint, or you just...
No. I sent him... I ghosted him.
Okay.
And then he still didn't get the hint, so I sent him a paragraph.
Okay.
And it was like, listen,
right.
This is over. I don't see this going anywhere.
Right.
Please leave me alone.
And then he left you alone.
And then, the other stuff that followed. But
but that's...
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other episode. But, yeah. Okay. So, no. Okay. So, I think, right, so during the date, because I do think you should, right, go out on the one date.
Yeah. But I know I'm friend zoning him.
I understand. And so, okay, fine. So, you already know that. So, then let that inform... If he's planning the date, or if he asks you for any input on the date, right? Like, make sure it's not like uber ultra romantic.
He did ask before when we were at the birthday party, like, what do you have, like, a preference of, like, what you'd want to do. And I was like, I don't plan first dates, which I don't.
Yeah, right.
So
we
I
set
was
the
like,
standard, ladies,
like,
right? We are the prize.
Dates, surprise
That's right.
me, like,
right. Show some effort.
Surprise me. But I don't plan first dates. And he was like, okay, like, you know.
Well, so then you kind of set him up though to like bring the noise, right? Like to bring it.
Regardless, I don't care. Like
No. I'm just saying.
I know, but that was like early-ish on. Like he asked me that question early, and like I was still trying to figure out like could I possibly maybe kind of. And then after that question, like an hour and a half to like we talked for a long time, Mom. Like I think 2 hours later, I was like, yeah, no, I don't.
Right.
But here, after that question, I'm not going to go back and be like, oh, hey, to that question you previously asked me about.
No. I'm not saying that. Just my point is, if the opportunity presents itself where you can give any type of input or confirmation of what, right? Like you should, try to take it down. Like it would be, you wouldn't want him to plan to spend a lot of money or take you to some really expensive place or, like overly complicated date that's got like, 4 steps and really romantic because there's a high likelihood, right?
And he already wanted to kiss me when he walked me out and I just like gave him
okay, wow, really? That was really?
Yeah. Like I said, he kept looking at me like, wow, the entire night was like he was looking through my soul. like we were dancing and he started giving me those eyes and I was like, look away, okay, look back, look away. Like just trying to not make it so
intense.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like
it's such a shame you didn't find him attractive. You love the family and everything, and he's clearly like ready. Oh my gosh.
I know. He's ready. He's ready.
But that's what it looks like. Listen, guys, that's what it looks like. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a bunch of games, right? Yeah. It's supposed to be. So
it was just.
It's great to see that. I'm glad, really right? Nice. We tell you share this story. And women, when we are like contorting and doing all these different things to try, like, and you're asking your girlfriend a million questions, like, well, does he like me? I'm not sure. Like, no, it should be pretty crystal clear.
I mean, it was obvious.
Yeah.
It was very obvious.
Right.
Like, but and then he would like slide his chair closer. Like all those signs of like how you sit, and then when you walk, like you put his hand in the small of my back, and I was like, oh God, don't do that. Like,
did he really?
Like just like all those things where I was like, this is really cute. But I like, and I was like Fallon, are you sure? Like I was trying in my head to be like, maybe, like,
right.
But no. And I've already been through that road once that I know.
Right.
I know deep down, like, I'm only going to end up hurting him if I even tried.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. No, it's true.
And I don't want to go there.
Right. Right. So, okay. So during the first date, like I said, try to keep it, casual and not overly romantic. And, at the right moment or towards the end, you've got to establish that, this is great and you love his family and, you look forward to being friends.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's going to say friends. Right. And if I hope that he would say, well, does that mean you don't want to be more than friends? And you got to be prepared to answer that question.
What do I say? Do I just say right now, I'm not sure. And I just want to start off being friends.
I would just say, I want to start off. I want to begin as friends, and then if things evolve organically, great. But I want to begin as friends.
Okay, that's a good way of saying it.
Right?
That's good.
Because you also organically means like so it's not about like him trying too hard, and then if he would propose like a second date, it should always be with a group, right? Or you could like say, hey, you see what I mean? Like it should then be about you interacting with him and his friends.
And my friends.
And your friends, right? Like it should no longer be one-on-one.
Okay.
Right? That's kind of a way to kind of drift it into friendom.
Okay.
Into friend mode, friend zone.
I'm not used to this. Normally it's just like a ghosting period. So
oh my gosh. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. Guys, don't ghost each other. Think about how you feel. I don't know that you've ever been ghosted. Have you ever been ghosted?
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm usually the one.
okay, it's terrible, but there will come a point. There can come a point, right, where you really like someone.
I mean, with the guy that when we ended this, when we start doing all these like how many guys, I feel like wow. Sometimes with me, we have to name them for like
We have to keep a list.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I've had like.
No, it's really not been that many at all. But even still, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is, ghosting is tough on the heart. You have no closure, and I think it just really, as a person that has been ghosted, you just focus on all your insecurities. Right? Oh, well, she didn't like me. I wonder, was it this? I wonder, was it that? I wonder, right? And it's just, and then then those insecurities are heightened when they interact with anyone else. And then they're actually even more guarded because they're wondering, well, when is the shoe going to fall? Right? And it's better, on Keep Your Cookie, we talk about real. Right, real conversations, real connections, and standing in your truth. So
not shying away,
from the tough conversations.
And I think that's why I did in the past ghost a little bit because
of course it's
I don't
easier
want to have that hard conversation.
No.
And two,
don't be afraid to keep your cookie in the cookie jar.